Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now, if you're new here, you should know that I've been involved in starting several new businesses. And trust me, I've seen and done it all when it comes to launching businesses. The reason I mention this is because I want to dive into the plans, pricing, and features of Tailor Brands, an LLC formation service that I've personally used and found quite unique. So, if you're considering setting up an LLC and want to know if Tailor Brands is the right fit for you, stick around. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of what they offer and how they compare to other services. And if you want to use Tailor Brands and save some money, click the link in the description below. You'll get a special discount that you won't find by going directly to their website. So with that out of the way, I first want to give you a little background about them. They started back in 2014, and their mission was to give new businesses everything they needed to launch successfully. And after they started incorporating businesses, they realized that a lot of the new businesses they were launching weren't taken seriously until they had some kind of digital business card with a logo, a website, and other assets that gave the business more authority to their clients and employees. So they went about creating a website to give startups everything they needed, not only in terms of getting the legal aspects of the business, but also in terms of all the things that I mentioned, as well as marketing, all in one place. And they did this by making a website centered around a logo maker that can also help you make a website, digital business cards, and merchandise, along with their registration and management services. And like I said, I've been involved in one way or another with starting a bunch of new businesses, so I know a lot about everything that's involved. I've used Zen Business, LegalZoom, and Swift Filings, and I've even tried Busy, which for a bunch of reasons I do not recommend. But in any case, I definitely say that I'm a bit of an authority on the subject, so I can confidently say that in terms of plans and pricing, Tailor Brands is structured very differently from the others because they take you through a sort of unique process to identify your needs and give you a custom-built estimate tailored specifically to your business's needs. And only then do you have the option of looking at their plans, which is definitely unique compared to the other companies that I've used before. So to actually get a certificate of incorporation, which is like the birth certificate for your new business, you have three main choices, all of which exclude the state fees, which of course vary from state to state, and you'll have to pay no matter which company or plan you go with. But first, let's take a look at their packages for limited liability corporations, or LLCs, which is the only kind of company structure you can register here on Tailor Brands. So if you want to register an S Corp, a C Corp, or a nonprofit, then as of this review, you'll have to try using one of the other services I've reviewed, like LegalZoom or Zen Business, and I left the links to those reviews in the description below. But in terms of their plans, they start with what's called the Lite plan, which they currently offer for free, so you can register an LLC just by covering the state fees. This is a one-off charge that covers basic registration, and as long as you submit all of the necessary documents, they guarantee filing within 14 business days. And because I've used other services, I know that the actual processing time after you file can take weeks, so with this option, you're gonna need to be patient. The next option is their Essential plan, which is an annual subscription of $200 plus any state fees. Here, you get expedited processing within 2 days, and they throw in compliance services to make sure that you meet the legal state-specific requirements of whatever state you register in. They remind you to pay an annual state fee or submit tax documents to keep you up to date. This plan includes a standard operating agreement, which, if there are multiple members, is signed by all of the members of the LLC and declares which person is responsible for which role, as well as what rules govern the business, which is absolutely essential if you have partners or investors in the business. For those of you looking for the best value for your money, Tailor Brands has the Elite plan, which will cost you $250 a year. It has everything in the Essential plan, plus a business website domain for a year, up to 8 logos, a digital business card, and use of their business card design tool. You also get their AI-powered website builder for a year, and you get access to a social media post generator that's great for people who don't know all the rules for posting from a business page on Facebook or Instagram. I ultimately ended up going for the Elite plan because it covered everything I needed to get up and running with my Facebook page. And within a week, I had a brand identity with a logo, a website up and running, and my LLC application filed with my state. These are all things you can do separately or on your own, but if you want to launch your business as a complete package in a much easier easier way that looks professional with your brand well-defined and ready to go, then this option is a very cost-effective way to get all of that done in one place. With all the plans, you also get the option of a free business bank account, and you can add services to create your logo or business card with monthly subscription plans that start at $4 and go up to $13. You can also use their design studio to make a logo for free, but you can only download a low resolution file. For a high resolution vector file image, you'll have to subscribe, but once you sign up and download your logo, it belongs to you forever. Now, if you want to add some headache and hassle to your life, you can technically do the following things yourself, but if you're like me and value your time and headspace, you can have Tailor Brands do them for you for a bit extra, and some of these things are required by law. For example, if you live in the US, you'll need a business tax number if you employ anyone besides yourself, and this number is called an EIN number, which you can technically get directly from the IRS. But either way, you'll need it because you have to have it to be able to file taxes legally. The other thing that you need to do is assign a registered agent who accepts all legal communication between the business and the state, and this is also something that technically, if you want to save a few bucks, you can do it yourself, but you can also have Tailor Brands deal with it for you if you want. And if you want them to do it for you, the EIN will cost around $100 as a once-off expense, and if you want Tailor Brands to act as your registered agent, this will cost around $200 per year, which is again something you can technically do yourself, but is not something that I would ever think to do anymore. If you ask me, the price for taking care of it for you is very reasonable for the amount of work that it actually entails. But like I said, you can do both yourself, but only if you're a US citizen. If you live abroad or you're not a citizen, you can register a company in America, and Tailor Brands does this for you in Delaware and Wyoming, which are two states that are open to international ownership and don't tax LLCs. The thing that as a non-resident that you can't get is an EIN or act as your own registered agent. So you'll need to pay Tailor Brands to do both of those for you. And I just wanted to reiterate that if you want to try Tailor Brands out and save a bit of money, you can use the affiliate link that's down in the description. Again, if you use it, you'll automatically get a bit of a discount that you wouldn't be able to get if you went directly to their website. Now, when it comes to the competition, there are a few different options, and like I mentioned, I've used a few of them. So let's take a look at how they compare. So you can check out Swift, Filings, or Zen Business, as they both offer a free initial registration process, but you'll need to get money out of your pocket if you want one of their paid plans that include their other useful services to help you manage your new business and keep it compliant according to your state's regulations, not to mention that you'll have to cover the cost of an EIN. But I do think that Tailor Brands is ideal for anyone who's setting up a business for the first time because they take you through a step-by-step process and don't offer you a bunch of services to choose from, which can sometimes be overly confusing. Swift Filings, for example, will file your registration for you for free within 10 days, and they register a range of company types, not just LLCs. But their standard plan, for example, costs $200, which is really the price of Tailor Brands' Essential plan, but they give you a lot of options that might be a bit distracting to those of you who might be new to the whole process. And if you go with My Company Works, they don't have a free plan and offer a basic formation package for $79 plus state fees that includes same-day filing, an operating agreement, compliance alerts, and a lot of other stuff. But what they don't have, that Tailor Brands does, is a logo maker and website design function included, and that is where Tailor Brands stands out as the only company that gives your brand as much attention as your company's registration process. Now, in terms of my experience using Tailor Brands, it's actually quite different from other ones that I used before. You have to go through the whole process of registering an account and then tell them about your business before they show you how much it will cost. You can start with logo design, and for that, all you need is a name and get some basic options that produce a decent logo and brand image pretty quickly. Of course, when you come to download whatever you make, you'll need to subscribe. And I'd probably say that if you want to register a company with Tailor Brands, then it's probably a good idea to get the Elite plan, which basically includes everything for a year. I mean, everything that you need is already included, and your brand will be ready to conquer the internet with a bit of work on your part. And again, remember, I'm not new to the business startup process, and so I really believe that it's just worth it to get experts to do all of the annoying and tedious paperwork and take care of the busy work for you. But in any case, after they tailor a plan for you, it says show me more options, and then you'll see their main annual plan and what it includes. And in terms of my honest opinion here, I could really have done without some of the extra steps. For me, it took a while until I actually got a price, which was a bit bothersome, but I was impressed with the end result in any case, and I have used and reused them many times since. And in terms of customer service, it mainly comes from a chatbot that
really wasn't able to answer my questions so well, but they do have a thorough help section and you can email them as well. But even that starts with an automated reply. So you have to go through a bunch of levels before you ever deal with a real person. But if the automated process doesn't work for you, then you just have to keep pushing until you get to a real human rep. I did find that mildly irritating, and I wish I could have just seen their plans and pricing from the start. But again, I was really happy with the end result. And I did end up getting a logo, a website, and my company registered, as well as my business tax number and a registered agent set up without much hassle, which again, you do need to operate legally in the US. I wanted to get my online presence and social media pages like Facebook or LinkedIn up and posting quickly, and in the end, for all of this, Tailor Brands was a really good and quite affordable way to go.
So there you have it. Tailor Brands offers a range of plans with unique features that cater to new business owners, from basic LLC registration to a comprehensive package that includes everything you need to launch your brand online. I hope this breakdown helps you decide if Tailor Brands is the right choice for you. As I mentioned earlier, if you're interested in trying Tailor Brands, use the link in the description to get a special discount that's not available on their website. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you enjoyed the video, consider hitting that like button and subscribing to keep the lights on over here. As for now, thank you so much for watching, folks, and until next time, take care.